That was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We
are live. How is everyone doing out there, man? Haven't made a video in a little bit of time, but I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk Super Bowl. I wanted to talk about NFL playoffs, man. So we've been making these videos about these sports picks and covering these NFL playoffs. And man, we hit a little bumpy road in the playoffs. It didn't go as we wanted to. You know, I think we went 2-2 in the championship round. No, I know we went 1-1. Actually, we went 2-2 in the division round, and we went 1-1 in the AFC NFC championship game. Not the results that we wanted, man. You know, we kind of finished pretty bad, but it is what it is, man. So the talk of the week, man, the last 2 weeks, honestly, has been: is the NFL rigged? Is the NFL scripted? Man, it's like anywhere you turn online, social media, people are still talking about it. They don't want to let it go. You know, just based on that Chiefs game, right? We can go a little bit into that game and look at so many angles with that Chiefs Cincinnati football game, right? You know, I don't want to say if it is, I don't want to say if it isn't, because I don't really freaking know, right? But it is interesting that it is trending. People are talking about it, man. I think people have been talking about it for a while, but recently it's just caught fire with like that mass audience, man. It went mainstream, honestly, man. It was trending on all these like different social media sites, man. It's pretty interesting if you ask me, because you know, last year in the Super Bowl, man, we made a video very similar to the one we're making right now with Brian Flores, man, the ex-coach of the Dolphins, that he was getting paid to lose football games, right? When we covered that last video with the last year's Super Bowl. So here we are again, back in the same talk. You know, is it rigged? Is it scripted? You know, do coaches get paid to lose football games? You know, very controversial, right? The way I look at it, gentlemen, I look at football and just sports in general as entertainment, right? Number one. And that's pretty much all I know, is that it's just entertainment, and just take it for that. You know, the game ends, it's over, and we move on. But it's always fun to get entertained and to look at these football games and see who's going to win, see who's going to lose. And let's talk about who's going to win and who's going to lose tomorrow, man. It's a very difficult game to pick with Kansas City, with Philly. Honestly, I mean, all week long we've heard all these talking heads talk about this game, so many angles that we can look at it, right? And I don't make this too long of a video, man. I just want to give my thoughts on how I think tomorrow's football game is going to go down. You know, I think Philly is going to have a great performance tomorrow when the game starts. I think Philly, for me, has a much better roster on paper than the Chiefs on offense and defense, man. And we've seen it in the playoffs. Philly really dismantle these teams they face, man. And people want to talk about it was the Giants, it was the San Francisco 49ers, but it's just interesting how the week leading up to the game, they build these teams up. You know, they build up the Giants to be this great team. They build up San Francisco to be this great team, which they are. They are great teams. They were great tems. And then once Philly dismantles them, then it's like, there was like a really shitty team, or the Giants had no business being there, or the Niners had no business being there, right? But my point is, Philly is a great ball club on the offensive side of football. This team gets yards in every single play. The defense is also super strong in terms of maybe not stopping the run, but when the chips are on the table, the defense is super aggressive, man. And we saw them hurt some players on San Francisco last week, right? So tomorrow's football game, man, how do I see it going down, man? With you know, Philly, with San Francisco, you know, I think Philly is going to be winning in this football game, all right? I think Philly will be up in the first quarter, in the second quarter, third quarter. I think Philly will be winning all the way until the end of the football game, man. But I think that is when they'll get tight. I think the experience on Kansas City, for me, is ultimately like going to be the reason why I'm going to pick them to win. I don't know. I just think Philly is very inexperienced in the coaching staff, and I think if the game comes down to like these stressful moments, I think the coaching staff on Philly will get tight. and it's going to open up the opportunity for Mahomes to do like a classic 2-minute drive to win the football game. I think the Eagles will get tight in that fourth quarter. They're going to make mistakes, maybe some fumbles, maybe interception, and it's going to like leave the door open for KC to win, right? I think when the game ends, Philly will have played a much better football game than Kansas City, and it's almost going to be like the feeling like, damn, like the Chiefs had no business winning this football game. Like the Philly played much better the whole freaking game, but somehow Mahomes gets that 2-minute drive, kicks the game-winning field goal, the kicker for the Chiefs, or maybe Mahomes finds Kelsey in the end zone for that game-winning touchdown. You know, that's how I see this game happening tomorrow. I'm going to pick Kansas City. It's a very difficult game to pick, man, but, you know, this is a square play as well, man, because a lot of people are picking the Chiefs to win this football game. It's kind of an obvious pick, right? It's, you know, the trendy pick is Kansas City, right? If for some reason they lose, you know, a lot of people are going to be very happy, man, if KC loses tomorrow, right? But in my opinion, my perspective, that's how I see it. I see Kansas City pulling it out. I think miracle win at the last like 30 seconds of the football game. They win it. Maybe it even goes into overtime as well. That's also a possibility for tomorrow's football game, man. Like KC ties it. They kick that like game time field goal as like the game ends. Overtime happens, and you know Philly plays tight. They choke, and KC wins, man. So that's pretty much it, man, for the video. You know, it's pretty much it for the football season, man. Honestly, football has been kind of over for me already for a couple of weeks now. I've been getting into different sports, college basketball, and I've been getting really into the NBA, man. Like huge NBA mark right now. Big time NBA fan. They pulled me in, man, big time with all these trades and stuff like that, and all the storylines they have going in the National Basketball Association. I'm going to be following the NBA pretty closely. College basketball, maybe not as strong. Right now, my interest is big time in the NBA. But, you know, in terms of like futures, in terms of odds in the NBA, there's not much value right now, right? I mean, Phoenix was, I think they were 5-1 to win the Western Conference. Before that trade with Kevin Durant, now they're like 1.5-1, maybe even 2-1 on some sports books. But not much value in terms of like picking a future. More or less, I'm looking at the storylines and see how these teams finish and the injuries. I'm looking at these injuries, possible injuries to be huge to determine the winners of these conferences, man. Right? Let's see if Phoenix can stay healthy all the way through with like the older Chris Paul, you know, KD. Let's see, man. I want to see if he's able to hold up this stretch of basketball. Because a lot of these teams, man, that Phoenix is going to be facing, they're going to be coming at them. You know, teams that have nothing to play for, and we've seen it in the year, man. We've seen these teams that have nothing to play for have like career seasons, man. The freaking Kings are in like in third or fourth place in the Western Conference, man. Utah Jazz, they fell off, but I mean they had a pretty good start to the season. And a lot of these basketball teams, man, like the standings this year are pretty tricky in basketball, especially the Western Conference. There's not a clear favorite. Now there is with the Suns, right? But I wouldn't discount the Denver Nuggets either to do something. Maybe at the trade deadline they didn't make that big, huge move, but they did get a great center in Thomas Bryant, man. I was really impressed that they were able to get them from the Lakers because Thomas Bryant had some pretty good games with the Lakers, man. When AD was out, I think Thomas Bryant was averaging like 20 points, 10 boards, so it's a huge pickup for the Nuggets. They got a great team, man. They're well balanced. They got rid of that controversial point guard they had, the rookie from last year. You know, so Malone, that Nuggets staff, they're serious about competing in the Western Conference, and I think it's going to come down to those teams, man. I think it's going to come to Denver, and it's going to come down to Phoenix for the Western Conference Championship, and I wouldn't pick a team yet, right? Everyone's picking the Suns right now, but I want to see what Denver does. Too close a year, and I want to see if Phoenix gets injuries, you know. I think they're going to get some injuries to that team. I don't think they're going to last the whole year. Chris Paul, KD, Booker, someone's going to go down. I don't think they'll have that squad going into that Western Conference Championship round, whatever that is, right? On the Eastern Conference, man, everyone's picking Boston to win the championship, like a slam dunk for them to take it all. But Milwaukee is still a super dangerous team, man, because of the freak. That guy is unstoppable, man. Who's going to stop that guy in Boston? I mean, they have some bodies that can maybe do it, right? But if Boston is healthy this year, Middleton, Holiday, Giannis, Bobby Portis, the center they have, if that team is healthy, I think they're the favorites. I would pick Milwaukee right now to win the East, and the Western Conference, either Phoenix or Denver, right? My fandom wants to pick Milwaukee and wants to pick Denver to win the West, man. But let's see, probably it's going to be the Phoenix Suns, huge star power in that ball club. But I would rather see an up-and-coming team like Denver Nuggets because they're super well-balanced, man. They have great depth on that team as well. I would like to watch the NBA Finals. But we'll get into basketball little by little. And yeah, man, just wanted to give my thoughts on the Super Bowl #1 in this video, and probably transition now to the National Basketball Association. Probably gonna get a lot into these basketball games, college basketball. We'll see, man. Right now, the NBA is holding my interest big time. But I want to wish everyone a great Super Bowl tomorrow, man. Hope you guys have a great day with your family, food, everything, man. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's a great celebration. End to the season. Hopefully we get a good game and these refs chill and don't throw so many penalties. But we'll see, man. So go Kansas City, and let's see what happens, gentlemen. Talk to you guys later. Peace.